a race on class night and then having
Crazy.
to like rush back to like hopefully make it there. And then there's some activities during like after school, not after school, but like during the weekends that's the school be hosting, and
Yeah.
then I wouldn't be able to go to them because I had a track, whether it was a track meet or something else. And even in college, the same thing. There was so many events where you miss out on because of practice or one thing or the other, and and then now as a professional, there's things that I have to sacrifice. Like there's weddings I've missed.
Yeah.
There's other events that I've missed because of track and stuff like that. And you know, it's what I signed up for. I know that if I want to be great, I know if I have these goals, like there's gonna be some sacrifices within that. And then even when it comes to the resilience piece, it's important that you remember why you're doing it. It's important to remember, all right, this is what I set out to do. Just because I might not, just because I have this goal doesn't mean I might necessarily hit it, but I know I'm gonna do everything in my power. I'm gonna leave no stone unturned. I'm really gonna get after this thing 100% and give it my all and let the chips fall where they may. Because I like say like for example, I want to go to the Olympics next year, and
Yes, sir.
and it's gonna happen.
Yes, it
period.
is.
And
Yeah.
if so, I'm gonna backtrack. So 2021, I tried to 2016 and 2021, I tried for the Olympics,
I remember.
and I missed both of them. And in those moments, it was like, yo, am I really cut out for this?
Yeah.
But then it's like, no, I'm gonna keep showing up, and
Yeah.
I know regardless of the goal, it's the journey that's beautiful. It's the journey where you learn about yourself. It's the journey.
Yeah.
It's the stuff you learn along the way that make the story that much better. And I've realized that like your efforts aren't wasted. Like regardless of whether I hit my goals or not, the fact that I'm even pursuing them is gonna I can take that same resilience and the same characteristics that the journey brings out of me and then bring it into another endeavor in my life. And so that's why I always say like really learn to embrace the journey more than the end goal or the finish line, because only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna hit a goal and you're gonna want to get another goal. And there was a quote by this man, I forgot his name, but he said, "You spend more time climbing up the mountain than you do on his peak." And I was like, "Dang, that joint is real," because you're gonna spend a lot of time in the process, in the nitty gritty, in the grunt work. And granted, yeah, when the Olympics I make it, it'll be great, but then there's gonna be more seasons to come after that, and so it's just gonna be on to the next thing. You know, we get that high of hitting a goal, and then it's just on to the next thing. And so when it comes to resilience, just really learning to really embrace the journey of it all, and just knowing that like you don't have control over the outcome, but really you only have control over the work you're able to put in, which is the process.
Great, great to have you on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank y'all.
Been a long time.
I know, right?
Been a long time. Nice to see you.
Yes, sir.
I've been a fan from afar. I seen as I actually was on the track team with you my senior year. So
Yeah.
I seen you put in work and all that. So to see where you at right now is wonderful to see, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
So with me is my question to you is, what is the balance of? I think you got into it a little bit, but what's the balance of track in life? Because when you into something like that, it can consume you.
Yeah.
And the question is, how do you balance being consumed in your profession, but also being good at life?
Ooh, that's a good question. And I'm gonna start back from high school, right? So I remember just trying to balance high school. I mean, yeah, high school like class and
Yeah.
schoolwork and maintaining a good GPA, and then track itself. So it's one thing to like, go to school, go home, do your homework after that. But then I added track practice. When I started doing track, I started coming home way later. Get home, like, when you were a regular student, you get home at like 3:45 maybe
Yeah.
after the bus. When I was doing track, I didn't get home till like 6:30, sometimes even 7 o'clock. And this is practice, it's not even competition.
Right.
So it was some track, like, it was some track meets, man. We get home at like 10:30, like, and I still had homework I had to do and stuff like that. So it was to the point for me, it was like, all right, any free time I have, I'm gonna try to do it. I remember one meet, I was legit doing my math homework in between races, like, and it's just in the stands, legit. Yep. PG Complex in Landover. So I remember legit doing, my homework in the stands and stuff like that. So just finding any like opportunity I can where I'm not on the track to then do like classwork and stuff like that. And then college, now this was its own different beast. College was way harder than high school in terms of like balancing being a student athlete. Like, you know what I'm saying? College, we was practicing sometimes twice a day. We practice at 6 a.m. Then you have a bunch of classes and then practice again at 3:30. And then you still have a bunch of other classes you have to do. And then now, like high school, we didn't travel that much for track. We traveled a little bit. I remember there was only like maybe a couple meets where we actually traveled to like overnight. Like I had to miss school and stuff like that. But college, man, you missing class like every week when the season starts. And so it's kind of a similar thing. Like I'm doing my homework in a hotel and stuff like that. And so one thing that I've really learned to do is just focus on what's in front of me. And so what I mean by that is when I'm on the track, I'm going to be fully at the track. And then when I'm in the classroom, I'm going to be fully in the classroom, fully engaged, fully there. Granted, was I doing that all the time? No. But like just learning to really focus, like whatever is in front of me, be all in here. Like I'm here in this podcast talking with y'all, I'm all in. And just knowing how to do that and learning to be fully present and fully in the moment definitely helps balancing that. So then now as a professional, there's another element to it, right? Because now it's like there's stints where I'm gone like weeks at a time. And so with track being like the only thing I really do, it's like, all right, how can I still better myself and things like that? So I even ended up going to graduate school at one point before I signed with Under Armour. And I had an internship as well. So I was juggling like all three. And it's the same thing, like just focusing on what's in front of me. And I didn't have much of a social life at the time because there was so much going on. But anytime I did have to be able to socialize, I tried to do that as well. And so like I said, just really focusing on what's in front of me and really learning to be where my feet are at and just being fully present and just, being able to show up for like wherever I'm able to show up at, I'm going to try to show up fully and just know like, if I'm away at a meet or something like that, like it's no love lost. I still love y'all, but this is something I gotta take care of. So, yeah, and it's hard. Like it's hard. There's gonna be sacrifices made. You might piss some people off. You might, it might not be as ideal, but that's the nature of the game that I chose, and I wouldn't see it any other differently.
It's crazy. Everything you just said almost kind of mirrored what I said at my graduation speech to my family and some of my friends. I was there at my grandfather house, and I was basically saying, I'm always gonna be where my feet is, no matter where I go in my life. It's for me, it's always about the process.
Yeah,
it's not always going to be easy. Not everyone's always going to like it. I'm going to rub some people the wrong way along the journey, but I just want everyone to realize, hey, it's number one, it's nothing personal. I think about all of you all the time. But I'm doing what I have to do for myself first and foremost, before I can worry about everything else, because if I don't do it, no one's going to do it for me.
Right.
And that for me, I take a lot of pride in just enjoying the process. It's not going to, I may not have clarity on how things are going to end until I get there. But just chipping away and still showing up and still doing the work, I know I'm going to get there eventually. And I'm not worried about how everyone is running their own race. It's for me, I'm going to get to where I'm going to get to as long as I continue to put the work and show up. And that's basically what I want everybody to know.
And I think the hard part, too, is, and this is a really hard pill to swallow, and this is something I really learned, is like, you can do all the right things and still fail.
Man.
And,
that's a bar. Yes.
Yeah, you can legit do all the right things.
Bring that bell. You got the bell on your side. Bring that bell.
Yeah, you can do all the right things and still fail. And guess what? It's okay. And it's life. Like you.
Man, that's true. It's true.
And because of that, don't let that deter you from still trying to do what it is that you try and do. Like, when I tell y'all I worked really hard, like at 2021, I swear I thought y'all was going to make that Olympic team. I was like, all right, like, I just, made the world championship team the year before. 2020 going to hit. So 2020 hit, boom, I get injured. So I'm like, damn, this is my first injury. Like, what am I going to do? And then COVID happened. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of good for me because now I can, like, focus on trying to get back and bounce back and things like that. So then 2021 come, and I'm like, all right, babe, I'm going to run the time I need to run, and then we're going to be Gucci. And I didn't end up running that time. And I was like, yo, what just happened? Like, I was just like, what is going on here? And that was the first time I've experienced failure on the track, but that was the first time where it was like, I didn't progress like I normally do. And it was just a hard pill to swallow at that moment. Cause it's like, I did everything right, eating right, sleeping right, putting in work, doing all the right things. Of course, there's always things I could have improved on, but like, I felt like I did everything I could to like make that team. And when it didn't happen, I was just like, do I still have it? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And I learned that, like, my efforts aren't wasted. And I know that I can, pivot, talk with my coach and see, some changes that we can make. And just knowing that, like, the outcome isn't in my control. I can only focus on what it is that I have to do, focus on my training, focus on, what works for me. Because what works for me and I work for somebody else and vice versa. And so that's why I say, like, you can do everything right and still fail, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't go out there. And I'm going to say another bar. But you're not entitled to the fruits of your labor, but you still got to do the labor. And that's something I thought I was almost entitled to, like, making the Olympic team. But because I've been progressing so much, I thought, it's going to be easy. I got it. Like, I've been progressing. But it's like, no, you still have to, there's some things you still have to do and some lessons that needs to be learned and things of that nature.
I'm not overly religious, but I do take a lot from the Bible in terms of just applying the scripture to real life. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe that everything's about timing in life.
Yep.
And to your point, it was, what you said as far as when you didn't make the team, you felt as though, damn, like, do I really still have it? Right, but that's when you have to have the mental fortitude to lock back in and say, all right, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really fail. It just wasn't my time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just for everyone listening to the show, in general, and for the younger people, we want to have everything when we want to have it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can't microwave success.
You cannot.
You can't microwave that.
You gotta slow roast.
You gotta slow roast it. you gotta slow roast it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because what you put into this life we live is what you're gonna get out.
Facts. You may not see it at first.
Right.
But that is the case.
Yeah.
Right.
You put out some BS, you can get some BS right back at you.
Right. And I mean, and just fall along those lines, you get out what you put in, so if you half-ass the process, you're going to get a half-ass result.
Get a
half-ass. Yeah, so that goes back to, the perseverance and just the resilience you have to have, not just with what you're doing, but just
in general
in life.
Yeah.
It's so different. Track and, like, I also did swimming. Track and swimming is, like, so different because it's a team, but it's also individual at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you got a team and you got a team goal, but at the same time, when you go into the actual competition of it, you're by yourself, and it's a race. There's no whistles. There's no stop. Okay, it's go time until the finish line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it takes, like, a certain focus. And my question to you is, because I talked to basketball players, talked to baseball players, talked to us being football players, and I've been in swimming. How is the zone? How is the zone for you? Because I know when I was in swimming, it felt like I couldn't feel the water. It felt like I was just going. Mm-hmm. And that's when the times I just hit my best times. So I was like, with you, how is it getting into the zone when you running? Like, is it like tunnel vision? do you not even feel yourself running? Like, you just got it like that. Like, how is the zone for you?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, the zone really, it's definitely more of a tunnel vision because there be some people be cheering for me, and I'm like, oh, you was cheering? Like, sometimes I hear people cheering, but then other times it's like, nah, I ain't hear nothing. And so, yeah, I be locked in, like, locked in. Like, for me, the lock-in process begins before I even step on the track. Like, by the time I get to the track, because as a pro, you're in high school, you're at the track all day. As a pro, you don't have to be at the track all day. You can show up, like, 2 hours before you can show up whenever you want to, for real. Yeah. But for me, I prefer to get there, 2 hours before. I'm already, have music playing a little bit here and there. I can still, like, be social and talk to people and stuff like that, but still, I'm already, like, the lock-in process has already started. And just because, like, I know for me, I like to really visualize my race plan beforehand, before I step on the track, and just, like, do, like, some deep breathing and stuff like that. And so doing stuff like that really helps me get in my zone. And then it's just go time after that. And, like, I can't be afraid of anybody on the track. Like, there's some people who might be way faster than me, and it's like, all right, like, at the end of the day, I'm racing you. I'm not racing your last performance or, like, your fast performance that you put up. And so it's just having that in the back of my mind, too. Like, all right, I'm going to get in my zone, and I'm going to stick in that joint and really dial in and focus. So, yeah, for me, it's definitely tunnel vision. I'm not worried about nobody else but myself.
That's interesting because when we was on the track together, I was actually doing swimming at the same time.
You was.
Mm-hmm.
You was.
I was doing swimming at the same time. So because I was doing shot put, I wish, looking back at it, that, like, I put more work into that because I think I could have been good. I just felt like, oh, I'm strong, it's going to be easy. You know what I'm saying? And not really putting in the work, you know what I'm saying, to really develop that craft. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like I did that with swimming because a lot of people don't know. I was, like, in freestyle, I was, like, top 10 in the county.
Oh, shit.
So with racing, it's like, do you focus too much on your opponents, or do you just focus on the finish line? Because sometimes when you focus too much on somebody, you lose focus on what you got going on. And I saw myself doing that when I first started swimming. Like, I'm looking to see where everybody else and not focusing on what I got going on. Did you have a struggle with that? Because I had to develop a mindset of, like, this is my race. I'm blocking everybody else out. This is my race. Yeah. I'm racing against me. Not everybody else. I'm racing against everybody else, but I'm focused on me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What was your process in trying to figure that out?
Yeah, so
good question.
Early on in high school, I was definitely, I'd say my first year, I was kind of, like, focused on everybody else. Like, all right, what is this person going to do? What's that person going to do? Even junior year, too. It wasn't until, like, my senior year where I was like, all right, I really got to learn how to focus on me and dial that in. And then I saw the success of it, right? I won state in the 800 indoors and outdoor. And we actually
sir, hit that. Give me that bell.
And then even we actually won a team title at Duval.
I saw that.
Yeah, we won a team.
I saw that with Coach Sarge and all that.
Yeah, listen, dog. It's crazy too because that was the first time Duval had won a state title since, like, the 90s. Nah, 90s, like late 90s. So, like, and I think we still the last team to, like, still have won a state title. So, and then we went indoor, and then we got second place outdoor. So we still carried home a smaller trophy or whatever. So yeah, we was on point that year. But to your point, yeah, I really had to, like, focus on myself and just, like, all right, I'm just as fit as everybody out here, especially in the state of Maryland. It's one thing to, like, be good in Maryland, but then when you go, like, when I went to nationals in high school, it was like, oh snap! Like,
it's
a different beast. Like, I thought I was, like, granted, I knew I was good, but I'm like, there's levels to this joint. Yeah. Like, there's kids out here who is running, and so even them, that's why I had to focus on me.
Hey, not to cut you off, but, like, when I went down to Tuskegee to play football in D2, this is D2 now. I'm looking at these dudes like, yo, y'all in D2? Oh, this is a whole nother level that I didn't think that I was supposed to be on at D2. You know what I'm saying? It's really levels. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then college, man. College was its own beast, y'all. Like,
because everybody is state champion. Everybody went to national.
Listen, bro,
You know
I'm
what I'm
gonna get to that, right? So I came into college freshman year. I'm like, yeah, I'm a state champ. Da da da. My roommate was a state champ.
Me too.
My and this is Hampton University, so it's not even like a Power 5 school.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
my teammate who lived next door to me, he was state champ. Like, we all state champs at this point. So it was like everybody good. Everybody got it going on. And so I remember my very first race in college, like, I got crushed. It was bad. I was like, dog, I don't know if this is for me. Some of them workouts we was doing, I was like, yeah, I don't know. But it's the same that I had to really, dial it back in. Like, yeah, it was an adjustment, and it's going to be a process to, like, get to that adjustment. But I still have to embrace that process and just trust it, because I can easily could have been in the beginning, oh, this isn't for me, just because it got hard one time, but or like the competition is just way steeper. So it's like, dang, do I really have what it takes to, compete at this level? And then as I got through college, I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I was making nationals in college too. So, and I was competing against people, who went to University of Florida, Mississippi State, all them Power 5 schools. I was competing against them, and I could keep up with them. And so it was a process to get to that point, but it definitely had to take some, like, all right, let me focus on what it is I got to do. Because I think when we focus so much on what other people are like, all right, well, they're doing this and they're training and they're doing that. Yeah, and I should be doing that. And it's like, no, what works, that works for them. I have to figure out what works for me. And then it's vice versa. Like, some people, they don't do anything. They be doing whatever. I can't operate that same way because, like I said, I have to focus on what works for me and really learn what it is that works for me. And so, to your point, Scoop, like, really learning how to, like, because track is, like you said, it's very individual, but it's also a team sport at the same time. And so just figuring out what works for me has been game-changing in my track career.
Yeah, it's a reason why Android chargers don't work for iPhones, because it don't work for that. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. We talked about it on the show, knowing your manual. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what makes you tick, knowing what makes you who you are and what makes you better. You know what I'm saying? And as an athlete, should be number one on your list, because when you go out there, you got to be at your peak. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know what makes you, not just everybody or just this stereotypical good track runner, what makes you tick to make you get at your peak, that's like one of the hardest things to do, because you got so much outside noise. Trust me, when I was playing football and I'm looking at other people, I'm like, okay, what they do? And I'm like, no, stop doing that. Because I did that like throughout most of my high school career. When I was a senior year, I was like, man, fuck that. I told Coach Powell, because he was having me wrestle, I was like, no, I'm about to swim, because I feel like swimming would be better for me, because I hated wrestling. Hated it.
When his brother the coach or something like that?
Who?
His Coach Powell. Woo.
Oh, Coach Woo. Hey, shout out Coach Woo. Yes, sir. Coach Warren. Yeah, that was my guy. Yeah, those some different brothers, okay? I love them to death. But yeah, I had to do what's best for me and had my best season in my senior year. You know what I'm saying? So you have to figure out what makes you tick. Now, my senior year, I had Sarge. I had Coach Hayes. You had Coach Hayes as well.
I sure did, yep.
Share your stories about Coach Hayes, because Coach Hayes was one of the most frustrating but most wonderful coach I ever had, because he was so hard-bodied. He was intense, but at the same time, he did that out of love, and he knew he can get something out of you. So,
more intense than Coach Weaver?
Yes.
Man.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Weaver was intense too.
Coach Hayes was a sergeant in the military.
Okay.
Listen, man.
Okay.
Yeah, share some of that and how he helped you.
Yep. shout out Coach Hayes, man.
Yeah,
Like,
shout out Coach Hayes for real.
I'm not even going front. So like, my first year running track, I had Coach O'Neal, and then I don't know if you remember Coach O'Neal.
Shout out him. I just seen him like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, real talk.
I ain't seen him man in a minute.
He cool, man.
Yeah, shout out Coach
that's
O'Neal. He
guy.
was very. Him and Coach Hayes was like polar opposites. So Coach O'Neal was very like.
He was a different dude.
Yeah, he was very encouraged. Like he gave us hard workouts, but Coach O'Neal was very like, oh yeah, I believe in you. You know, it's gonna be all right. You good. And then when I remember coming back to, because I did cross country as well. Yeah. So Coach Hayes did cross country and outdoor because he did wrestling indoor. And so I remember I came back, and I was naive to this. I didn't realize that as a runner that you're supposed to do some type of running over the summertime. And so I remember coming back, you know, we maybe started cross country practice like maybe a week or two before school started. And I remember Coach O'Neal telling me, like, yeah, there's a new coach. His name is like Cortez. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I met him.
That's his first name?
Yeah, his first name was Cortez.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Every person that I know that first name is Cortez is a different animal. It's a different person.
Facts. So then I remember like our first day of practice, he having us do this run, and I'm completely out of shape. So that joint felt like the hardest thing ever. And I remember we had to do some exercises after we came back from the run, and he was just like, like, you are behind, sir, and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, yo, this man is so, it's the first day. Like, cut me some slack. He was so intense, but at the same time, he really wanted to change the culture of Duval sports. Like, that was his main mission. Like, yo, I really want to make Duval some champions, and we gonna get it done. Like, we gonna get her done. That's something he used to always say. Like, let's get her done. Like, and one thing he said that I still kind of keep today is he always just tell us, like, before any type of workout, like, get your mind right. And now I take that with me. Anytime there's about to be a hard work, it's like, all right, let me mentally prepare for this. Let me get my mind. Let me lock in and stay focused and dial in. But yeah, he was very intense. I couldn't stand him at first. He used to blow me all the time.
That's a fucking fact.
And by the time the end of the school year came around during that track season, this is my junior year because this is when he first came, there was dudes in the county who was still beating me, so I wasn't number one yet. And he was like, you need to be number one. We're not going to be satisfied until we number one, and da-da-da-da. That guy from Roosevelt, he whooping your behind, and da-da-da-da. And he was at the time. I'm not going to front. And I used to want to beat that dude so bad. And then, bruh, I was so happy when we beat them my senior year. Bruh, I hated Roosevelt too. But yeah, Coach Hayes, man, he was tough. I think he was easier to manage my senior year because I got faster. But I think when you're not as good, he can be it's very tough. But he was definitely that tough love kind of coach. Like, he definitely cared, and he definitely wanted to breed a culture of winning. And like, look, we not just going to be student athletes, but we actually going to like take titles and stuff like that. Because I remember the wrestling team, they won something before we did. It wasn't
county.
Oh, they won county, yeah.
And Diallo won state.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was.
Diallo won state. Shout out Diallo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, he still is.
Is
he? Yeah,
Is he back at it?
Yeah, he back at it. I saw him on Instagram. He back at it.
So talented.
Yeah, man.
Football was not his sport. Wrestling was his sport.
1,000%.
1,000%.
Yeah, so like by the time my senior year came around and we won state and stuff like that, he was easier to manage. I'm gonna just put it that way. Especially since when you get good, he definitely easier to like navigate. But when you suck, it's gonna be hard. I'm not even gonna.
It was rough, but you need that. You need that tough love for real. You know what I'm saying?
Need it.
My dad gave me tough love, so like when I see that, I be like, okay, I know where it's coming from. Especially when a person that's genuine, and he was one of those things that he brought something out of you that you didn't think you had. Yeah, and I love coaches. I love coaches like that. It was like, nah, I'm about to be on you because I know you better than that. Mm-hmm. And it was just one of those things that it was just motivate.
Yeah. Especially now, because my father was hard on me growing up. Yeah. Like how my father is now, people have not, like, growing up, listen, I'll be up the crack of dawn. Hey, help me with this yard work. Or, hey, put them cleats on. We going to the field. I'm like, yo, it's like 6:30.
Running, man. My dad used to have me running around the complex and all that.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Man. I remember Coach Hayes used to tell me, like, even Coach Hayes and Coach, they both used to tell me, oh, try to get a run in before you go to school. And I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. And then little did I know in college, like, we had to wake up hella early do that anyway. So I'm like, dang.
You know who used to do that? On the football team? Paris.
Oh, you do that?
Paris used to do that, and the reason why we ended up finding out was because Coach Hayes, I guess, he stayed around the way where Paris lived at, and seen him running before school.
Damn.
Seen him running before school, and then shot it out, and I was like, "Damn, what am I doing?"
Yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Coach Hayes
I
was
was
like, I just remember something too. Coach Hayes was different. I remember me and Calvin, we pulled up.
Shout out Calvin.
Shout out Calvin, man. That man used to
Shout
give me
out
so many
Calvin.
rides home from school.
Oh, for real? Get out of here, OG.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember one time we walked into the school, and I guess like when you first walk in, because I forgot what he did, but he ran like ISS or something like that. Coach Hayes did. And remember, he pulled us to the weight room one time, and this is like we had our school uniforms on still and everything. He was like, "Yeah, come do some leg presses real quick." I'm like, "Bruh, you making me do a leg press? I gotta get to class. Like, what are you talking?" Like, but just that discipline and just like learning how to put in work, even when it's not ideal or not, just to do it early and get it out the way, I think definitely helps. Cause I be working out early now, so yeah.
Like this morning, before I came here, I went straight to the gym.
I feel that.
I had to get my early workout in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because it sets a tone for the day for me.
For sure.
Get my energy going. Just, all right, I'm here. I'm locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go to the show.
And Coach Hayes at Roosevelt now, too, so yeah.
You said what?
Yeah, Rose now.
Who at Rose? Coach Hayes?
Yeah.
Hold on, bro.
Oh, y'all ain't know that?
Nah.
Yeah, he at Rose now.
That's what.
He been at Rose for a couple years.
Listen. Whenever opportunity presents itself for us to coach our school, because we're waiting. We're waiting for the green light.
Mm-hmm.
We like a group of us are going to go back and coach the football team. We're just
That'd be
waiting
dope.
for the right opportunity.
That's so frustrating.
That'd be
Oh,
dope.
I forgot. Hey, man, that just reminded me. Mike Smith had hit me, asking me if I wanted to coach, and I ain't hit him back. You just reminded me. I forgot. A lot been happening this week, but I do want to coach, especially for Duval, because it seemed like all our best coaches leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing, not to cut you off, Edose, but it's like nobody wants to coach our school. That's okay. When the opportunity presents itself,
take over that.
We're going to go back and coach. Because them boys need help.
Facts.
They need help. They need help. I'm going to leave it at that. They need help.
I don't know what it is, man. Like you get good coaches, then they take Duval
They
to
just
a certain
want to
point.
leave. They want to leave.
Then,
yeah, it's cool.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's better opportunities.
Shout out
or
Coach Debbie. She's still at Duval.
It could be.
Coach Debbie still at Duval. Lord Jesus.
Yeah, she's still there. And it's crazy because I remember her saying like she was going to wrap up coaching. When I was in school, she was talking
Lord
like, yeah, I
have
might.
mercy, Coach Debbie.
She was wrapping it up.
Jesus.
Yeah, she's still there. But all the other coaches aren't there no more. It's funny, too, because Coach Horn also coach at Rose now, too, bro.
That's wild.
Get out of here, Coach.
That's wild.
But she still work at she left
She still
Duval,
work at
but then
Duval.
she came back. So, yeah.
Shout out Coach Horn. I fuck with Coach Horn.
I seen Coach Horn
that was one of my favorite.
last spring.
Yeah, when I used to work at Red Robin, I used to see Coach Horn the time to time. So, yeah, shout out to her.
Shout out Coach Horn.
Shout out to
Coach
her.
Horn.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Man, I can't wait to do that. Like, I really want to put Duval on the map. My nephew go to Duval too, so it's like a full circle thing.
That's
so
what's
it's
up.
like I
cool.
want to make
When
you know what I'm saying, like
opportunity presents itself.
the place that made you who you are.
Yeah.
You always want to give back to that.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I always say, like, when I make it, like, I always want to pour into Duval.
Yeah.
Because that's what made me me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though when I first got there, I didn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? But I made the situation work for me.
Yeah, I think everybody who went to Duval at one point didn't want to be there. But
Nah.
you just made the most of it. And I look at it now and it's like, at least in my own life, in my own, like, track career, and this high school experience in general, like, the fact that I was able to help bring a state title to the school, that's something I'll take with me forever. And it's like, I didn't want to be at this school, but the fact that I was able to do this for this school was amazing. And then even speaking of, like, giving back, that's something that's really near and dear to me. And I was glad that I had the opportunity to actually give back to the Duval track team this year. Under Armour was like, yeah, so Under Armour, they had this spike campaign, and they was like, you know, you can give give back any way to the high school of your choice. And so for me, it was a no-brainer. I was like,
yeah.
I'm going to give it back to Duval. Let me hit up Coach Debbie and the new coach, Coach Davis, and see how many people on their team and see, what I can give. And they said about 40 people. So one day I came up there with like a bunch of spikes and then was able to give it out. I took pictures and stuff like that, shared it on social media, and I was just saying how it was such a full circle moment. Yeah,
I reshared it, yeah.
Yeah. The moment was so surreal because I was just like, dog, this is where everything started for me. And the fact that I was able to give back in this capacity, like, it was 1 year I didn't even have. I was borrowing somebody else's spikes 1 year. Right. And so for me to be able to, give these kids spikes for free, regardless of like whether it fit properly or not, but like the fact that like they have access to these spikes. I'm pretty sure there's still extra stuff like in storage or something like that. But the fact that I was still able to even do that, and it's just like, this is my way of giving back to the school and even giving back to the sport in general. Like one thing I really want to do. So something I'm getting into now is mental performance coaching, and so I've really been going to different schools and talking to different kids about like just the mindset to be successful and the mindset and just building the proper mindset because sport, right? We talk about how like a lot of sports is 80% mental and 20% physical, but yet we spend 5% maybe training the mental. And so it's important to really learn how to actually do the mental training. And so I've been going around different schools speaking and stuff like that. And so I went to Bishop McNamara to speak. I went to this school in Virginia to speak. Spoke to this one college team on Zoom. So I've been going around these different schools. I might be speaking at Flowers pretty soon. Just talking to different track teams and hopefully eventually maybe just all teams in general and just showing them like, yeah, man, I'm a product of PG County sports and this is where I'm at now. And just because you're here, like you can get to where I'm at as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember just speaking on high school. I remember when I was still in the military, anytime I came back home, I made it a point to go up to the school, whether it was for a game, I would just sit there for a few minutes and just reflect.
Yeah.
and just kind of just know like where it all started at.
Yeah.
Because at one point, like you said, Edose, I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But then just reflecting on everything and my experiences and how it shaped and molded me to be what I was. Whether I was here for a week or 2 weeks, I always went up to the school.
Yeah.
And saw old administration, or if they wasn't there, I would just sit in the parking lot and just take it all in, all over again.
I feel you. Like I be driving past the school, and I'd be like, "Dang, this is really where it started." And I remember one time, I forgot it was a couple years ago, but I had seen Coach Horn, and she was like, "You don't be coming to visit the team no more," blah blah. And I was like, "Dang, let me start coming back a little bit." So it was one time, I think it was this 2018. I went to like visit the school like consistently. Like this towards the end of the season when I had the time. Yeah, I was visiting, helping the team out and stuff like that, giving the kids advice and stuff like that. So I always try to make it a point to at least visit like at least once every school year to just, say hi or visit the people and just give the kids words of wisdom. Because I honestly, like when I was in school and someone would come up, like, I don't like speaking track times, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. If there was somebody who came to visit the school and talk to us who ran the same times that I did, when I was in school, I would have ate that joint up. Like, I would have just been, wow, this dude runs this. And so for me to be that for kids is definitely amazing for sure.
Yeah, because, I remember when we was in school, I don't remember much of anyone that graduated coming back as far as just, like, some of the alumni, they'll come back, like, for the football games and whatnot, but just, like, just in general and just speaking and things of that sort. I don't really remember too much of any of that.
In that case, yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the football games, of course, right? But anything else, I don't really remember anyone doing that while we was there.
I think my senior year, they started this thing where, like, there was some alumni who would come back. Maybe they did, like, a year of college or two, and they would come back to kind of speak on their college experience. And that started my senior year. It was one time I was supposed to do it. I think it was a couple years down the line I was supposed to do it, but I wasn't going to be in town, so I couldn't do it. But that's something they started. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they did it my senior year. They started it my senior year.
Yeah, I know me and Scoop, we have plans next year to do a show there.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
To be determined.
That's what's up.
But yeah, like Scoop said, anywhere I go in my life, I'm always gonna have Duval as in the back of my mind. I'm never going to forget where I came from.
For sure. Any type of way I can give back, man, do that, Jane, bro.
Yeah. I feel like I was just meant to be a Tiger. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was a Duval Tiger. Then I went to Tuskegee and been a Golden Tiger. So
Oh, snap.
yeah, so like I was just meant to be a Tiger. I felt like Duval prepared me for life. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I dealt with life situations in Duval. I felt with not. What's up, my boy?
Look at the comment.
Oh, okay, hold on. First of all, you're not going to tell the story of you and PJ fighting over water and made us run after practice too. So how about you bring that up, Julius? Because I already brought it up in the podcast if you watched the show. I brought it up multiple times why I had to run. But how about you bring up the time that you and PJ was fighting over water and we had to run too? How about you bring that up?
Hey, Drew, call into the show, man.
Bring that up. Bring that up.
Hey, Drew, call in. Call into the show.
So I'm going to say it a little bit. So it was a football camp at Albright.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, we already acting foolish up there. We had to run a couple nights before. So we actually had the coaches on. We had Coach Powell, Coach G, and his brother. Mm-hmm. So
good show.
Yeah, and they want to know the behind the scenes. So going up to the practice, they put on the movie 300. Worst thing they could ever do. That shit hyped us up to no end, like, bro. Like, that's like a testosterone-filled fucking testosterone-filled movie, and that just hyped us up. And that's how we got our mantra, Tigers. Oh,
right.
From
Oh, I didn't know that.
From 300. That's from 300.
That's where that came from, yeah.
So, us being some foolish-ass teenagers, we was like, we're going to have our own pillow fight Spartan 300 war when we get to the damn school, right? So we was like, it's gonna be the first and second floor. So we when we get up there, we get into it, but then like it's a whole nother team on the second floor, and mostly white people too. And they was with the shits, and we was like, okay, fuck that. Us versus y'all. Man, when I'm telling you, first of all, the hallway ain't nothing but like this wide. And we had one of the biggest lines in PG at the time. And Edose, when I tell you we swing it from the ear, we swing it from the ear. Huss, 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 huss. I mean, shit going crazy. Shit going crazy, right? So then one of our biggest linemen, Darren, shout out to Darren. I don't know where you at, brother, but I hope you're doing good in life. Big Darren, I hope you're doing good in life. He falls on me, and I fall into one of their rooms. When I mean they fucking me up in the room, they fucking me up like about 4 of them, just like goose, goose, goose. At this point, I lost my pillow. I don't even know my pillow. I grabbed a random pillow, and no racist stuff because it was mostly white people. I hit every white person I saw. Boom, 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 and the last person got it. Bow. So I'm running down. I realized, because I didn't realize what was going on inside, because I'm getting fucked up, and I just see people running. I'm running down to my dorm. The whole hallway's clear, and everybody's looking outside their dorm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, bro, what's going on? I look behind me. It's a coach. He picks up his hat, his glasses, his clipboard. He was like, I'm the such and such head football coach of such team, and I don't like getting my head hit with a pillow. I was like,
Oh.
I was like, oh, yeah.
It's all right.
We got to run at 4 o'clock for sure again.
Nah, what's up, bro?
Again. So, yeah, that's what Julius was talking about. Yeah, that was a hell of a time, bro. And this is a camaraderie of this team sports.
Yeah, man.
It's a wonderful thing, man, because my freshman year, my dad passed away.
Right.
So that was an outlet and a tool to me to heal from that. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what somebody's going through. You never know about somebody's situation. That's to have that outlet. It don't necessarily have to be sports. Mm-hmm. If somebody has an outlet to release that anguish, to release that frustration, to all that negative thoughts to push into something positive. Because all the negative thoughts I had, my dad went into that sack. went into that tackle. You felt every bit of my pain, but it was something positive.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
sure.
saying? So to say that, how did you use track into the outlet and to deal with outside stress, trauma, whatever that you went through? How did you use that as an outlet?
Yeah, man, definitely. Like, track was definitely huge outlet for me. Just going on a run, just to run, like, it helps me clear my mind, clear my head, and stuff like that. And then just being at practice too. Like, when I'm dying on that track, I ain't got time to think about, oh, this person don't like me, bruh. I'm in this joint. I'm hurting. Like, I'm hurting on this joint. I ain't got time. And so just knowing that, all right, because, like, even for example, so when I first graduated from college, just figuring out what I wanted to do, because I didn't sign with Under Armour right away after college. It took me like 4 years after that to sign my contract. And at the time, I was like, all right, do I want to get a job? What do I do? So I graduated. I got a degree in engineering. And
yeah, you always been smart. that always been the case.
So I'm thinking, okay, it's probably gonna be easy to get a job or whatever, and that wasn't the case. And I was just like, dang, man, what do I do?
Damn, as an engineer though, that's crazy to think about. My bad, but
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Exactly. But hey, everything happens for a reason, man.
That's
If
Lord.
I would have gotten an engineering job, I probably wouldn't be
doing what you're doing now.
Exactly.
Yes,
even
sir.
being on this podcast. Who knows?
Hey, God is playing for you.
He do.
Him.
Exactly. Amen.
Glory.
He said glory.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, so like being that stressed, I was like, let me just join this track team and see what happens.
Yeah.
And so just to get my mind off of that, I'm gonna still like do what I gotta do, but let me just have this outlet here to just, blow off some steam, train, work towards something. And so, yeah, man, like when you down on that track, you ain't got time to be like, you really can't think about other stuff at the moment. Because you gonna, especially when you tired, when them hard workouts hit and you on the ground, like, I ain't thinking about nothing else. I ain't thinking about that failed test I just had. I'm thinking to myself like, yo, this is tiring.
Well, I'm telling you. Back to Coach Hayes. He used to have us run about maybe 30, 40 minutes after practice. And I'm like, yo, I got homework. I got to go home. It's 8 o'clock. What we doing?
No, remember after football practice, we would be running sprints.
I just said that.
In the dark.
I literally just said that.
No, I just had to reiterate that. At this time, we had no lights.
Yeah.
No lights.
So
we had no lights.
So about time Coach Hayes got there, we ended up getting heist because Panthers, the Pop Warner team, they used to play up there.
Right.
So they would need their lights. We had lights when he was there, bro. What I'm telling you, bro, when you was there, bro, we ran. But when Coach Hayes was there, like, here's the thing, bro. We was running sprints, break, sprint, break. Coach Hayes wasn't like that. We were running. It wasn't no break. It was a run. We running. We just running. I'm like, what's going on? But even though we didn't make the playoffs, for fluky play, I'm not gonna bring them bad memories up right now. But we was the first team without any forfeits to have a winning record for a long time in Duval. So we made progress. Then they end up winning county and all that. So, back to Coach Hayes. Shout out, like, Duval started winning once you came in.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, really,
winning,
Coach,
Duval started winning. I don't think he get enough credit. You know what I'm saying?
He really changed the culture of the sport.
Even though I hate Roosevelt, I hope you still do your thing. Fuck Roosevelt. I felt the same way with Coach Powell and them with the flowers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I still hope they do it. They did my man dirty in them playoffs, too.
Well,
that was crazy.
We ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to you, brother, man. You changed my mentality and a lot of mentality of a lot of people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You made me respect the grind, brother. You really did. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, shout out to you. I'm going to follow you on social media and send this to you. Because you deserve a lot of credit, bro. Yeah. You really did, because you pushed us to no end, bro. You really did. Yeah. Hey, shout out to that man.
And we talked about the power of sports when Coach Powell and Coach Jen was on the show, in terms of as young men helping us develop those social skills with each other and learning how to work as a team. Because even when you go outside the sport element, when you become an adult, you have to know how to deal with other people around you in the workplace, and just the team chemistry that we had. You know, we was, you know, sweating, bloodied up, tired. You know, sometimes we fought each other, you know, during practice, but
hey, Chris.
oh my, don't bring that up, bro. Don't bring that up.
I'm not.
But you know, we dusted each other off, we picked each other up, and you know, for the most part, most of us, if not all of us, are doing pretty well out here because of those experiences. The foundation that Duval laid down for us. And at the time, of course, we didn't see it. We hated being there. But now looking back, it's like, damn, all right, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, for sure. And like, just to your point, because like track is a little bit, it's still a team sport, but it's still individual at the same time. And just, it's the same thing. Like when you have people around you who like you just grinding with, you want to cuss the coaches out, y'all want to cuss each other out, y'all want to fight each other. But then when y'all able to like have success together, like it definitely hits real different.
Oh, man.
It hits different for sure. And just, I don't know, there's such a camaraderie when like you see people suffering with you. Because that's really, listen, y'all, we used to be dead on that track, bro. Like there was some practices that were easy, but overall, some of them workouts was hard. Like, and we used to just, like, we hate Coach Debbie. She gonna make us do this and da-da-da-da. It was rough, but man, just like you said, learning how to work with people, learning to work with different personalities.
Why am I running? I do shot put. Why am I running? What's going on?
Like, and honestly, like with track, like just experiencing like my whole track career and just the stuff I've been able to do with it, like I feel like I can do anything, regardless of like, you know, how difficult it might be. Because track is one of it's the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, it's extremely hard sport. Granted, like I said, there's some workouts that are good, some workouts that are pretty easy.
It's pure conditioning, bro.
But
like it's pure conditioning. And same thing with swimming.
Yeah.
Bro, when I tell people this, they literally like, bro, are you serious? Even though you see how tired I used to be at football, bro. We didn't even practice every day in swimming. We probably practiced three times a day. I was way more tired after swim practice than I was at football. I was more hurting in football than tired. I mean, I was dead tired.
Yeah,
I mean, dead tired. It's a full body workout. You know what I'm saying? And then you going against the water, hey, bro. And all we did was swim. In the practice, all we did was swim, learn how to dive correctly, working on turns, and it was just pure conditioning. Like, boy, if you ain't conditioned, you won't get conditioned real fast. Real fast. And another thing that I wanted to ask you is, no disrespect, but you're not opposing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And with me, when I got on, the track and I got on the stand about to dive in, everybody looking at me like, man, what is big boy about to do in here? What is big? You know what I'm saying? You don't look opposing. You know what I'm saying? How did you deal with that, and how did you block that out? Because with me I'm about to show you what this big dude about to do in this water. You know what I'm saying? This is a person thing. This ain't no slim thing and none of that. It's how you, with the work you put in and how you do your thing in this damn water. You know what I'm saying? So did you go through that? And if you did, how did you block that out?
I think for me, I kind of went through that because my performances spoke for itself. Yeah. So like people would see, oh, I'm racing Edose. Oh, snap. Like I might lose this. Like at one point, especially in the 800 meters, a lot of people was racing for second place. I'm not even going to like.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Especially my senior year. Yeah. It was a race for second. Like, I don't think I lost a single 800-meter race that outdoor season. And so I think people were just scared off of the strength of that alone. Like,
you must protect this house.
Yeah, I think people were just scared of that alone. Like, they saw my time. Like, people ask, oh, so what time you run? I'm like, yeah, I run this. Oh, snap. Like, they're already checked out by that point. And so for me, it's just, I was nervous because the 800 hurts and like, I'm about to go into a competition and stuff like that just to, showcase my talent and stuff. But, yeah, when it came down to, I'm not imposing and stuff like that, but people see the results. People look at like performance markers and stuff like that. And so people see like, all right, yeah, he about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. I wish I could turn back the clock sometimes, bro.
Yeah, there's some things I do differently, but
well, I wasn't speaking of that particular, but it's a couple things I would do. It's several things I would do, a little different, a little different. But I enjoy my time in sports. I mean, looking back at it, man, when we was when I was on the track team, we had so much fun, man.
It was fun, bro.
It was so fun, especially traveling and all that. Do you remember when we stopped at a McDonald's and me mooning the whole McDonald's? Do you
remember that? My God.
Hey, Coach Hall was like, we about to leave you here, bro.
Oh, my God.
What's up, bro?
Hey, yo. What was that? It's like I vaguely remember. You just unlocked the memory. Was you coming back from Eastern Shore?
Was it Eastern Shore? Because I remember being a long ride.
Yeah.
I remember being a very long ride.
It might have been Eastern Shore. I remember we had to meet out Eastern Shore.
We stopped at the McDonald's with the playpen and all that, and I tried to get in the playpen.
Yeah, I think that might have been
and
it.
And then I was like, yo! And I was like, yo!
Hey, yeah. Because I don't remember really stopping for food unless it was far.
Yeah,
when we went to the complex,
we never do it. Yeah,
yeah. So it might have been that Eastern Shore.
It was a nice little ride.
Yeah,
yeah.
or it was when we had in Hagerstown too.
It was one of them two.
Yeah, it was one of them two.
It was one of them two. I remember being a long ride, and we stopped at McDonald's, and there was other track teams at the McDonald's too.
Yeah, that's
and I ended up mooning them, bro. I mooned the whole McDonald's, bro.
Dang, I vaguely remember that.
That's the power of sports.
Listen,
that's the power of sports, man.
I was a wild boy back then. I was a wild boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm still kind of wild, but I'm more mature and more, you know what I'm saying, subtle with my stuff. Back then,
one thing I love about sport too is just honestly just the travel, man. Like just being able to the camaraderie, the travel, and the people you meet, man. Like I met so many people on this track journey, and it's not like because like when it comes like football, basketball, and like more team sports, you play one team, but with track, you always racing almost the entire county all at once. So like you might race one kid from Rose, one kid from Flowers, one kid from Fairmount. So it's just a melting pot. It's just pretty much all the schools just together. So you be knowing people from different schools and stuff like that real quick. And I remember we went to Philly, this Penn Relays, we went to Philly or whatever, and we used to ride with different teams and stuff like that. And even that was an experience in and of itself. And it was just fun, man. High school track was fun. I'm gonna give it that. It was hard, but it was fun at the same time. Like I really, really enjoyed all the levels of track. High school, college, professional, all of it. I just enjoyed track, y'all. It was fun.
What is your favorite thing about track?
Favorite thing about track is just, I think seeing myself get better and just seeing that like, oh, okay, I hit a personal best today. Like, let's see how much further I can get. And just, I like the challenge that comes with it. And not to be biased because I've had a lot of success in it. But at the same time, I really just embrace, I like the challenge that comes with it. And I just like seeing myself get better. I like seeing, oh, this time last year I was running this, but then now I'm doing this. So I really like I said, the challenge that comes with track. I really enjoy that and just getting better. I just love the whole process of it. And I think I just enjoy the act of running as well too. Like I really like running.
Has it been a time when it became an obligation? Like far as you gotta get this done to be able to do what you want to do in life, like because one of the most important movies I've ever seen was Higher Learning. I don't know if y'all seen this movie.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Yeah, and Omar Epps was a track star, and basically, if you don't do his thing, they're gonna take his scholarship from him. And Ice Cube looked at him and was like, "So if you don't run and you don't do good, they take your scholarship from you, right?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like.
Yeah, so that's a good question.
I used to say that on your comments sometimes. I ain't say nigga. I say run, young man, run.
You did, yeah. I mean, in terms of performance, I never had that like pressure in college. The pressure was there that like, I might lose my scholarship, but like I was never threatened of a scholarship loss because I always took care of business. And then high school was also this. I think maybe my senior year of high school, that was probably where it was like, all right, every race, like I have to throw down so I can get into college. I think that's the moment where I was like, all right, I think I want to do this in college now. And so my senior year came around, and it's like, all right, I need to make sure that I'm performing so I can get looked at by college coaches and things like that. And so I think that's probably the, I guess, obligation and pressure that I felt. And then even now, like, as a contracted athlete with Under Armour, I don't feel, shout out to Under Armour, they don't really put too much pressure on
Protect
me.
your house.
Protect this house.
Bro, I love that commercial, bro. That commercial used to get me fired up in the living room. Mama like, calm down. I'm like, my bad.
But yeah, they haven't put like, you have to run this time or else that's it.
Yeah.
Some other, like Nike, they be doing that. But Under Armour don't do that, thankfully. So I never really felt extreme pressure from them. It's more so pressure from myself where it's like, all right, I'm running big for not just me anymore. Like I'm running for a brand or whatever it is. I'm representing, my native country of Nigeria. Yep. Like it's those things where it's like I'm putting pressure on myself, but they're not necessarily the ones putting pressure on me. Yeah. So I think the only time I really felt like pressure was trying to get into college. That's a fact. I mean, I still feel pressure, of course, but it's more so self-imposed pressure than like outside. Yeah.
I always said, any kind of pressure I felt, it was like no one's outside pressure could trump the pressure I put on myself.
That's a fact.
Just because I expect a certain standard from myself.
Yeah.
So anything someone else said, it was like, all right, I took it with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. But I always just put so much pressure on myself just because I hold myself to a certain standard. And just with anything, people ask me, you don't get nervous about this or that?
Oh, no, you?
No.
I'll be nervous as well. I ain't gonna hold you.
No. I mean, just because I already go through the mental gymnastics for myself to say, all right, either this is going to work out for me or it's not.
Yeah.
And if it does, okay, this is what I learned. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't, okay, this is what I learned. And this is how I can improve going forward.
Yeah, and I think, too, like, one mindset shift that I really took in, because I read this book called The Champion's Mind. It said, pressure is a privilege. And so I think when you look at it like that, like when you feel pressure, you should be privileged that you have some type of pressure. Like,
because you're good enough to have pressure.
Exactly.
The pressure.
And even like when you talk about like the nervousness, I'd be nervous as hell before races. I'm still, like, even if I'm number one, I'm no one supposed to win, I'm going to still be nervous just because it's like, I'm about to do something that I care about. I'm about to, go out here and still do it. But I'm invested into it. But the fact that I still have that pressure, or not pressure, but the fact that I still feel those nerves doesn't mean that I'm not going to go out there and do it.
Yeah, that's
right. You have to still perform even in the midst of the pressure or the nerves that you might be feeling. And sometimes like we think, oh, no one feels scared or no one does it. They probably scared. They just still doing it anyway, and they're doing it scared. And
that's a fact.
Sometimes that's just what you have to do. Like, and also like, yeah, I might be nervous or scared in the situation, but there's still an opportunity for me to still go out there and kill it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm gonna do.
With me, like with football, I wasn't nervous. I was more anxious than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like way more anxious. Like, let's get this. Like, you know what I'm saying? With swimming, I was way more nervous because of the simple fact that my build and all that, I wasn't quote unquote supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes I got that connotation from my teammates, and sometimes I got that I really got that from my opponents.
Yeah.
So like when I got on there, it's like I gotta prove why I'm here for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just not a big dude just out here just doing it for a dude.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I really tried to like have a mind. When I tell you I used to get nervous, I mean nervous like mom spaghetti. Like I'm telling you, like I used to.
I feel that.
I used to get so nervous, but once I hit that water, it was just on.
And that's how it is.
I
Like,
don't know if it's the race or what.
and that's the thing. You can feel nerves, right? But the moment you take action, them nerves be going away half the time. And so it's just game time after that. Like, I remember before the state meet in his high school, and we had a state meet in the middle of the week. So it's like, you go to school. I remember the night before, I was so nervous, yo. I was just like, dang, this is it. Like, this is the moment. Like, all this training, all this stuff has led up to this. Like, it's been my goal since 10th grade. So I started track to be a state champion. And it's like, I have a chance to actually go out there and do it. And I was extremely nervous, number one, because there was a race that I wasn't supposed to win. But this dude from Wise, shout out to Champ Page, he been killing me, man. I was like, yo, this band been whooping my behind all season. But I'm just like, all right. And then two, we was a chance that we was projected to win the team title too. So it was like, all right, we have an actual chance to like do something major here. And I remember, you know, going to school that day, Coach Hayes, he's like, who wants it? State champs today. Who wants it? Who wants it? So I'm already like, all right. So I'm in class. I can't even think about nothing. I'm just like, oh,
facts.
I got a race later today. It's a state meet. Like, what's going on? But then it all ended up, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go out there, do my best, stay focused. I know how bad I really want this, and I'm going to get it done. Ended up winning, you know, the 500 and the 800. And you end up winning the state by half a point. And if you know in track, half a point is, that's
crazy.
That's like as slim as it can get. The fact that won by half a point, dog.
Glory to God.
For real, I was just like, yo, we actually won this joint. Like, that joint was crazy. And even throughout the meet, I remember, like, you could see the point score just slowly adding up. It was like, yo, I think we winning right now. We winning. And it just kept going like, yo, we winning. It came down to the last event, and we ended up taking second by, like, the slimmest of margins. But it was enough for us to still win the whole team title. And so we were just like, dog, I felt like the man the next day because we had to go to school the next day. Yo, I can do whatever I want at this school. Like, I had all the clout. Like, I remember Mr. Harrison, he dapped me up. He was like, yo, congratulate. Like, everybody was congratulating us, man. That train was crazy, man. What a time.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So, with me, going in before a game or competition and all that, I listen to music to get me hype. Do you do that? Or and if you do, what type of music do you listen to?
Yeah, so I typically play the music to get in the zone. I think before I used to kind of listen to a lot of, like, you know, hip hop and stuff like that. But now recently, maybe past couple years, I switched it up. And I actually started, I incorporate a lot of different stuff, but I really be playing R&B a lot before a race.
Interesting.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I say that is because it calms me down. So, like, there's a warm-up routine I typically do. So when I'm doing, like, I'll do, like, floor drills and exercises and stuff like that before I get to jogging. Yeah. I'll be playing R&B during that time. You just kind of, you know, get the feel for things and stuff like that. Be chill, mellow, relaxed. And then the more upbeat music starts to play when I'm out there jogging and doing my strides and stuff like that. So I kind of mix it in just to kind of not get me too hyped, but at the same time not get too low neither, just to have that balance of, like, both.
Got you.
Yeah, I feel that because it
makes sense.
It was a.
Oh, no, I'm good. Appreciate it.
It was a difference between when I was swimming and football. With football, I need something to get me hyped because I'm about to put some danger on somebody. Yeah. I'm about to inflict some pain. So I'm listening to Nuck If You Buck. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to all Go-Go, Fire Anthem, Get Stupid. I'm listening to all that mess. I'm listening to straight heat. I'm coming at you. You know what I'm saying?
Lord John, the East Side Boys.
I'm telling you. You don't give a damn, gonna throw it up. You hear me? I've been that gonna get hit. But I try to, you know, do the same thing with swimming, and it wasn't really clicking for real. And I was like, why is it not clicking? It was because I was going in there so hyped. Breath control is really important, especially when you racing. You know what I'm saying? And especially when you're in the water. Yeah, because it's certain aspects where you're not breathing. Yeah. When you just going in, you know what I'm saying? So I had to, like, okay, I can't be too high, like you said. Yeah. I can't be too low either. So I started listening to rock. Like, not like heavy metal rock, but like Coldplay, Green Day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
I
feel
started
that.
listening to that. You know what I'm saying? To like,
3 Doors Down.
I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm there, but I'm at like a calmness, like a even keel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's all within how you do things. You know what I'm saying? And what I admire is people who. All right, I don't know what's going on, but people who has different approaches to how to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I respect it, see it from different people aspects and all that. And besides music, like, do you have like a routine? Do you normally do? Is there a certain prep meal do you have? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what else do you do to prepare for you to do the damn thing?
For sure. So one thing I really am into is visualization and breath work. I be visualizing all the time. Just visualizing what I want to do in the race, visualize the outcome I want to have, and I just visualize myself actually running. A lot of times we visualize ourselves in third person doing something, but then I read a book and it was like, nah, visualize yourself in first person to actually like do the act. And when I started doing that, I realized how hard it was, number one, and then two, I was almost like, this is gonna sound weird, but when I would visualize myself in first person, I could almost feel my legs or feel my feet like hitting the track. And it's like, yo, it felt like I'm actually running right now. And it's a technique I've run by other student athletes as well, like in high school and college. And when they do it, they be like, yeah, man, I feel like I was about to throw up. Like one dude legit told me, yeah, he said he felt like he was going to throw up just because he took himself to like that, to the race.
State of meditation.
Yeah, exactly. So he took himself there to the race, and like he felt all the nerves, is like even though he was sitting on a Zoom call. So it's another technique for me to get my mind right. And then in terms of eating, before I used to eat the same thing the day before the race, which was baked ziti, because it worked one time. And I was like, okay, I ran well. And it's like, all right, I ain't gonna switch it up. But then it was another time I ran terrible, so I was like, I'm gonna just start eating whatever. But I try not to switch things up too much when it comes to food, because you never know, like, food poisoning can happen.
Yeah,
just
how
my body gonna react.
Cramps.
Exactly.
My God.
I be staying hydrated and stuff like that.
Oh my
And
goodness, bro.
I'm trying to think of what else I be doing.
You ever caught a cramp in mid-race?
Not in the middle of a race, but in practice, yeah.
Boy, I caught a cramp in the middle of the race. From the ball of my feet to the crack of my ass. That shit was bad. They went up all my legs. I was like, ow! I was in the water like this.
Oh,
damn, not in the
Bro,
water.
hey, bro, it was bad, bro. Oh, man, it was bad.
But yeah, man, I really, I don't have like a crazy routine. My routines are pretty chill for the most part. What else I be doing? I'm trying to think. Self-talk, man. Self-talk, really be telling myself, like, yo, I'm that dude. Like, regardless of what happens in this race, I know I'm still great. Like, self-talk is so important. And just knowing that, like I said, regardless of the outcome, just knowing that, all right, I still have my back at the end of the day. And, like, one thing I be telling people is to learn how to be their biggest fan and biggest cheerleader. Because, for example, when it comes to, like, LeBron fans, when you a real LeBron fans for real, they almost look at it as he can do no wrong. Like, no matter how bad of a game he play, it's like, oh, yeah, he'll be fine. It was just an off day. Like, he'll bounce. He's still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT. And that's how we have to look at it ourselves. Like, yeah, we might not be perfect. Yeah, this race or this game might not have gone well, or this presentation might not have gone well, but I'm still great. And I think just having that mentality allows me to – it builds into the resilience aspect of, like, all right, I'm still – like, just because I had one bad race doesn't mean I'm a bad runner and throw the whole season away. But it's just, all right, this is just one bad race, and I can still, bounce back and then keep it moving to have a better season.
Yeah, and the opposite of that, you can be really good and lose.
That too. Like,
Right.
you're not
That
going to win every time.
sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It goes back to what Edose was saying as far as you can do everything right.
Right.
And still fail.
And still fail.
That is such an
That's so
important.
true. Because maybe the hardest loss I ever had was when we lost to Flowers my senior year.
How you gotta bring that up?
I'm saying though.
Yeah,
Hey, you weren't even playing.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but still.
Yeah, it's still heartbroken. I talked to the coaches and all that. I told Powell I blame him and all that.
Dang.
Yeah, I had to tell him that. I'm like, I blame you. I ain't gonna hold you. So, but I played well that game. Lost. You know what I'm saying? To like try to the ups and downs
Yeah.
of sports and team sports. You know what I'm saying? Even individual, like
Teach
you
how
have
lose,
to have
man.
your mental. You steadfast. Like you have to be on it and consistent with your mental because
Yeah.
the ups and downs of that. You
Yeah.
can be really bad.
It's
and
bad,
then you be like,
yeah.
damn, you be really good and still take an L.
Like
So,
even go ahead.
you got to be even killed. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I remember the county meet my senior year, and that journey was so bad. Oh my god, that race was so bad. That whole meet for me was terrible. Like I remember, I was supposed to. I don't know if I was supposed to win a bunch of races, but it was some races I was supposed to, score high in, and I just did not do that. And I remember after the race, Coach Debbie cussed me out real good. I was like, yo, I just did terrible, but I could have took that and been like, oh, my season's over. Because she's like, yeah, there was college coaches here. And I could have just been like, oh, my opportunities is over.
Facts.
I could have just been like, oh, it's the end of the
Facts.
world. But then little did I know, I was like, all right, let me, make some adjustments and make some pivots. And then the regional meet comes, and this is the meet to qualify for state, completely 180 turned up. Like, we won the 4x4, won the 800. I made state in the 500, even though I didn't win the 500 at the regional meet. And then we didn't even win regionals as a team neither. And then we was able to come back to the state meet and win everything. So
Hey, we spin the block.
yeah, spun the block, bounce back, all that stuff, man. So yeah, man, like you really, like you said, your mind has to be steadfast and just know, like, just because you take a loss today, like you have to learn how to lose before you know how to win. And it also makes you appreciate those wins too. Like you appreciate the wins so much more when you've lost a lot.
Yeah.
Like when you only used to winning, that loss is gonna be devastating. But when you lose a lot, it teaches you how to bounce back quick. So just having that mental fortitude of like, I'm gonna still give it everything I got, and even though if I lose, I'm gonna be all right at the end of the day. Like it's not the end of the world. So yeah.
Is there any other people that you ran track with the Duval that's still running? I know what's her name went to Texas.
Oh yeah,
what's her
BJ.
name?
Yeah, shout out BJ.
Yeah, shout out BJ.
Yeah, she don't run no more, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
she
kinda figured that,
she was doing her thing, man. Like she really.
At
And she's
Texas,
Yeah, she went to Illinois and then she transferred to Texas Longhorns. So she really did her thing, and it's crazy too, cause like, track, they had a couple athletes here and there who was saying like there was one girl who, her name is Madeline. She turned up, like she put Duval on the map for like women. She was high school All-American in high school. Like she part of. I don't think anyone in Duval has ever done that. So the fact that she did it, she broke the state record in the long jump and stuff like that.
Hey, Maddie!
Yeah, she did her thing. She did her thing.
sir.
And then she went to college. She went to North Carolina A&T and was NCAA All-American there. So, like, she really did her thing. And then
That's what's up.
they had a shout out to Duval. They actually broke our school record in the 4x4 as well. And that joint was hard. Like, that joint was tough to beat. So, Duval track, and they won county this past year, too. So,
Hey,
they doing their thing.
yeah.
Yeah, they doing their thing. They doing their thing. But in terms of people that I went to high school with who still like run competitively, I think I'm the only one. But yeah, man, the track team they still doing their thing. So
That's what's up.
yeah,
That's lovely to hear.
yeah, man. Nah, I'm proud of them, and like even the fact that they broke our coach every team, I was like, wait, y'all did what? Like, huh?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, and they had some kid who ran really well in the 200 as well. I think he broke the school record in that. So
That's
like
what's
they doing their thing. They doing their thing.
That's what's up. God bless you, Coach Debbie. God bless
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Any we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna wrap up soon, but anything burning on your minds before we wrap this thing up? Anything you want to get off your
Grown
chest?
ass people not showing accountability of their actions.
They don't. I agree with that. And then people gotta learn how to embrace the process, man. Like, just know stuff be taking time. Like, Rome was not built in a day.
Hell no.
You not going, like, you starting something off. You only looking at people's finished product, and then you comparing yourself on social media because this person doing this. It's like, little do you know they've been doing this for like 10 years. And you might not see that, but you see it now because they finally popped off. But when it comes to,
It's been a grind.
it's been a grind. Yeah, you really have to love that grind. I'm telling you, if you don't love the grind, you're not going to be successful. I'm going to just say it. As harsh as it might sound, like, it's real. You got to love that grind because you're going to spend a lot of time in it. Like, you're going to spend so much time in it. And you reach a goal, you just going to want a new goal to do. So really embrace the grind or whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's burning on my mind just because. Okay, all right.
So accountability.
Yeah, accountability,
It's a
because
beautiful thing too.
it's grown people I'm talking about. Like, when you talk to kids and stuff, like, you can understand it, but you still trying to teach them at a young age.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
got to
yeah.
hold count. You gotta be accountable of your actions and all that.
Mhm.
But when you work, and especially in a work environment, and like especially when you trying to help a certain person
Yeah.
out, and they just don't want to take accountability at all, and it's just like, bro, like. We grown people here. If you never gonna grow as a person, if you don't be like, okay,
AJ.
this is what I did wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is what I could do better.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna take heed to what you say. It's a difference from trying to help you and hating. It's a
Yeah.
difference. It's a
Yeah.
difference. And it's not as thin as a lot of people think. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get that tough love and you think it's hating. Nah, bro, I want you to succeed. Because our coaches used to say this all the time to us. All the time. All of our coaches used to say this. If I did not care,
Man.
I
say
would
nothing.
not say nothing
Yeah.
to you.
Sounds
Man.
about right.
Wouldn't say nothing to you.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
fact that I'm saying something to you, that means I care
Yeah.
and I want you to do better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's very frustrating, especially because I work at a school.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a custodian. You know what I'm saying? And it
Get into it.
it's just like, do your job. Do your
Facts.
job how it's supposed to be. Do your job.
Simple.
It's so simple, but so hard for some people. I just want you to do your job. There's a person right now that's job is in jeopardy because they did not want to listen and take heed to what somebody trying to say. That's why it's on my heart. That's when you said it, it came out immediately. I'm dealing with this week.
That's why I
The
said it.
person gone, and now we got to do extra work
Yeah.
because your ass didn't want to listen. We the ones that got you in the job in the fucking first place. You know what I'm saying? We try to help you. Try to help your
Cracking
ass.
up, dog.
We try to. God damn. And now we got to do extra work because you gone.
It'd be like that.
Bro,
It'd be like
it's
that.
so
dog.
frustrating. It's so frustrating.
And the job don't even be that hard.
It don't,
All you gotta do
we
is
are
lock in for 2
cleaning.
seconds.
We're cleaning. I'm trying to figure out what we're cleaning. And like people who've been there before you, take heed of what they say because we've been doing this before you. We know things. People had seniority in places. Listen to them. Sometimes it'll be on BS, but shift out the BS through the real shit. And I'm trying to tell you how to do your job correctly. And you trying to deflect, and it's everybody's fault but your own. You are not going to be successful in nothing you do.
Yeah.
In nothing you do. You know what I'm saying? It's very frustrating, especially as a grown-ass person. Especially as a grown person that's saying they got a kid to feed. And you still not doing that. That shit don't make no sense to me. No sense. I'm even trying, bro, I almost gained the blows with one person. I ain't gonna hold you. In the school, almost lost my job. I ain't gonna hold you. Lost my mind. And still was like, bro, you know what? Even though he was wrong as hell. I was like, bro, I apologize, you know what I'm saying, if I did something to you. You know what I'm saying? If you took it that way, but still, bro, I'm doing this because I've been in your shoes. I've been that new person. Everything that you going through, you know what I'm saying? I went through. So I'm like, bro, take heed to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? As athletes, we had to take responsibility because the proof is in the damn film.
Yeah.
Film don't
Proof
lie.
is in the film. Don't lie
Film them lie.
Yeah.
at all. The accountability that we had to take as athletes, you know what I'm saying? I think that's why we do so well in the workforce.
Yeah,
Mm.
1000%.
It's
1000%.
It's because we had to hold ourselves accountable and we had to go through we had to still, hamstring hurting, we still had to finish this off. You know what I'm saying? Head hurting, we tired, but we still pushing through.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
why I believe that sports is one of the best bases of you to be a good human being. If you good,
Glory.
if you a good teammate and you can accomplish something in sports, you can be accomplished in a lot of stuff
Yeah.
in life because
1000%.
the things that you had to go through to be able to be successful in that. The ups and downs, the mood swings, you hurting, you don't feel like it. You wake up in the morning like, I can't move. But you gotta move. You know what I'm saying? Because you got responsibilities. It's stuff like that, man, that it infuriates me when I see grown people, especially at the job, they can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's frustrating. It's real frustrating. Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you, Jeremy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, real quick. Hey, shout out to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. You always been there for me. You know what I'm saying? Give me advice and all that. Just had to do that real quick. Go ahead, y'all.
What's burning on my mind? So the other day I made a post on Facebook, just basically saying that when I took it upon myself to put myself in this fire in terms of just having this platform, I knew that everyone wasn't going to agree with everything that I say or that we say on this show. And so, with that being said, it's okay if we don't always agree. I think in our society we get caught up in agreeing on everything with everybody.
I agree.
But then the minute there's pushback, i.e. more so from me, because I'm not shy about, how I feel about various certain things going on in society, I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to start the conversation because not only is it important, but also it's going to help somebody younger than us that's going through whatever it is that I'm trying to discuss. So when we have various comments, or when I post various different things on Facebook, just trying to start a conversation about different things, if you don't agree, that's fine. I don't expect you to always agree with me. But just know that I'm going to always continue to push the conversation forward because we got a lot of work to do.
We do.
In our community still.
This is what we're here for.
And so in order for us to make progress, we got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's going to always be something that I keep at the forefront, not only of this show, but just trying to help improve our community moving forward, because there's a lot of powers that are out there that are constantly trying to destroy our community. And I'm not going to get into that and go down that rabbit hole, but just know that when I bring up these difficult conversations or these hard questions, if you're uncomfortable, then maybe that's where you need to be in order to get comfortable. And on that note, that's really all I have to say on that.
Hey, glory.
But
you're speaking that gospel right now.
Edose, you got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Yeah, for sure, man. Just I guess to everybody listening and watching, like I said before, I've been saying the same thing a lot, but really embrace the grind or whatever it is that you got going on. And like Scoop said, man, accountability, man, really take responsibility for your actions. Look at where you went wrong and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? There's always room to improve, have a growth mindset on certain things. Everything isn't always going to be set in stone. And just know that, like, mentality is everything. And you have to have a really good mentality in order to be successful. Like, you see all the greats in anything, whether it's, people like Tom Brady, late Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. Their mindset is really what sets them apart. Like, yeah, they have the work ethic, but, like, how do they get that? It's because of the mentals and just making sure that, like, you don't learning how to separate certain things from certain people as well. Kind of like what you were saying about, everyone's not going to agree with you, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. And just learning how to chew the meat and spit the bones out. Like Coach Hayes, for example. Yeah. Harsh, sometimes his delivery was extremely harsh. But if you're able to, like, sift through and pick out some of the things he actually said versus the delivery of it, you can learn something. So I think sometimes everyone's not going to be super cookie. Like, life's not super cookie cutter, sunshine, rainbows. Like, it's just
Hell
not.
no.
And just learning how to, like, navigate that space and navigate that stuff. And then also, too, with social media, if it's something you don't like seeing, you can unfollow. You can mute people. Like, I be doing it all the time.
Thank you.
Like, I be unfollowing people all the time, muting people all the time. Like, if it's stuff I don't like seeing, you can curate your own experience online. And so really learn how to do that.
You're in control of your own algorithm.
Yeah, y'all like, yeah. You are. Yeah.
You're in control.
Yeah. Control what you can. Control the controllable. And you're in control of your algorithm. There we go.
There's certain things in my algorithm that I wasn't ready for, and I don't know. So sometimes they can throw you a wild card in there.
Hey, you just fit not interested and just keep
like,
scrolling.
Whoa, look, that's a new thing. Okay? You've been having social media for a long time.
That's true.
There's things that pop up, you be like, oh.
You like, wait, I want to try to see all that.
I gotta pray.
Like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Why am I?
Bro, I did not want to see this man get killed like that. What's going
Nah,
on?
for real.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Hey, yo. Hey, bro, we're live. You gotta
Fact.
cipher through that BS, man.
Yeah, you
Hey,
gotta be
for real.
careful.
Hey, I don't know. Hey, well, have y'all pray too? You know what I'm saying? Pray. You know what I'm saying? Atheists, do your thing. But you know what I'm saying? Hey. Get your mind, body, and spirit right. That's all I'm saying. That's all. What they do?
Facts.
What they do? I don't know what they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
You know, right before they eat.
What you got, man, before we close up?
I don't got nothing but plenty of podcasts is made. Nobody lay it down like Spade and Spades. Like, subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, all that there. Edose, please tell them your
At is Ibadin, so EIBADIN on everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Anything
TikTok.
new happening?
Anything new happening? I'm about to go to
coming up.
Yeah, I'm going to training camp in January, so I'm gonna be gone most of January. Out in Florida, Bradenton IMG Academy. Finna go out there. I'm gonna be speaking at some more schools, you know, giving them mental tools, mindset coaching, all that jazz. I'm having mad fun with that joint. So yeah, man, I'm really trying to do something really big for PG County as well in that area. And so it's kind of in the works, but what I really want to do is really just tackle a lot of PG County schools and just teach them the mental skills, man, because it's needed.
Yeah.
Facts.
Brother, we appreciate you for having you.
Man, thank y'all for having me, man. It's
Yes,
been a
sir.
pleasure.
Thank
It's
you.
been
Thank
fun.
you. It's been long overdue. On that note, we appreciate y'all for tuning into the Saturday morning day party. Like AJ said, we got the day started with the shows.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all for tuning into the program. We are out. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks on the 23rd.
Season finale.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Happy holidays. We out. Peace.
Sir. Yeah, that was good.